Fourth generation blockchains. Get to know them. If you haven't heard of APTOS or SWI yet, not really sure where you've been. Well, you certainly haven't been watching this channel, I can tell you that much. Maybe hiding under a rock? Not sure. Well, APTOS and SWI are both two of my top 8 picks for the year out of the top 100. Today, we're going to be getting our move on, breaking down APTOS, find out what I like about it so much. Even APTOS nerds will get that joke. Then we're going to see where APTOS ranks among the top coins for this bull run. And if you're good, at the very end of this video, I'm going to be making my APTOS price prediction. Let's get it. I'm not a financial advisor. Welcome to Armstrong Crypto X. Don't just trade crypto, experience it. Start your crypto journey off right by hitting that subscribe button and joining Ben Nation. If you enjoy these explainer, rating, and price prediction videos, make sure to hit that like button so I know you want me to keep doing them. Today, we're going to look at how APTOS ranks among the top crypto assets for the 2024 and 2025 bull run. The grand finale of this video, of course, as always, will be my APTOS price prediction, so make sure you stick around until the very end. First, we're going to do a deep dive on the project and its history, cover some of the basic things that you need to know. APTOS has the ticker APT and is listed at number 33 in the global rankings of top crypto assets. As I'm recording this video, it's trading at around $10 with a market cap of $3.6 billion. It's a very new project that hasn't even been around for 2 years, so we only have a very short price history to judge it by. In the last cycle, it reached almost $20 at the top, and it hit that price just 3 months after it launched. For the first few weeks that APTOS was trading, it was sitting at around $5, but then it took off all the way to $20 in a matter of weeks. Anyone who was able to buy the bottom and sell the top managed to grab a quick 4x. That was right around the beginning of crypto winter though. So the price crashed hard, came back under 10 bucks shortly thereafter. The price ranged between $5 and $7 over the past year and has finally started to test the resistance level of $10. APTOS is a relatively new project when compared with its competition in the top 50. APTOS launched in late 2022 after raising $200 million in a seed round funded by some of the biggest names in the entire industry, including A16Z, Coinbase, Paxos, Jump, Dragonfly Capital, and many others. FTX Ventures and Three Arrows Capital were also major investors in the project, and it was launching around the same time that these firms were getting really bad press for ripping off their customers. This caused quite a bit of FUD and controversy because it was lumped in with less serious projects that Sam Bankman-Fried was involved with. It took a while for APTOS to shake off that association, but once they did, it was off to the races. Now that we've covered some of the basics, let's jump into the ratings and price predictions. Team 10. APTOS was founded by Moshe and Avery Ching, who were both working with Facebook before setting off to start their own project. While they were at Facebook, they were working on the Libra digital currency, which later changed its name to Diem. This was supposed to be Facebook's cryptocurrency, but they were trying to launch it at a time when the company was already facing accusations that it had grown to become way too powerful. The idea of Mark Zuckerberg being in control of the economy was not very popular, so they were forced to scrap the project. A ton of research and development went into it though, so a few of the developers broke off to take what they learned and build an entirely new blockchain. That's how we ended up with APTOS. In addition to the two founders from Facebook, the team also had some very high-level people that came from Solana, including Austin Virts. These might not be huge names in crypto yet, but this is truly an all-star team. Think about it this way. This is a crypto asset that was basically incubated in one of the biggest tech companies in the world. Marketing, 9. APTOS deserves a high score for marketing because of their connections to the traditional tech sector. This helps them position themselves as a more mainstream blockchain. They also have some massive partners, including Microsoft, who they're working with on an AI project. These are the kinds of deals that most companies wouldn't be able to land because they're outsiders. Since the founders here came from the inside, they're set up in different ways than the average crypto developer. Performance, 9. APTOS had a crazy run right out of the gate, and even though it was cut short by the end of the bull market, it still held up surprisingly well when compared with the performance of other crypto assets while prices were down. The price has been healthy all year, and I think a big rally could be just around the corner. That's why it was one of my picks for last month. Community, 9. Even though APTOS is not entirely crypto native, they made some very smart decisions during the bear market to kickstart their community. They also had tons of free NFT mints and some airdrops to start to generate some hype about the blockchain. And then when people started to do some research, they realized that this was a very serious project. Even though most of its life has been during the bear market, APTOS has grown a very active and dedicated community. Tokenomics, 9. This is not a strong area for APTOS, but I guess that should be expected from a Silicon Valley project with big VC backers. Seems pretty consistent. Circulating supply for APTOS is almost 400 million tokens. The total supply is over 1 billion, meaning that over half of the tokens have yet to hit the market. This wouldn't be a big deal if the inflation rate was low, but it's actually very high. In 2023, the circulating supply increased by more than double, from 130 million in January of 2023 to 308 million in January of 2024. That just slowed down a bit over time, but that's some serious inflation. The token supply is pretty centralized too, with 19% going to the team, 16.5% for the foundation, and 13.48% to investors. The remaining 51%, well, was set aside for the community. If you like active communities, then you need to check out our channel sponsor, Stake. That's right, guys. Stake is the world's largest social casino where you can chat with other degens and earn gold coins while you play in a great community. See the segue, see the tie-in? I did it. Visit the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. Get your account started with Stake, fun games, social chat, and more. The Armstrong Crypto X is powered by Stake. There's a tattoo under there, I swear. Utility, 8. APTOS is a new network, so the ecosystem is still very young and it's still growing in terms of users too. I noticed something really interesting when I was looking through the applications on the network. Almost all of them are entirely new applications that seem to be designed specifically for APTOS. This makes sense considering that it uses a different programming language than most of the other smart contract platforms. They can't just port over Uniswap like you can on an Ethereum compatible network. This also tells me that there is enough money flowing into this ecosystem to fund a lot of different projects that are focused specifically on APTOS. Some of the top applications on the network are the lending platform Thala, the margin trading exchange Ares, and the DEX LiquidSwap. There's also the APTOS staking platform Amnes Finance. All of these applications can only be found on APTOS. Another reason APTOS scores high on utility is because they already launched their own phone, following in the footsteps of Solana. APTOS has a completely different strategy though. So what they're doing here is instead of manufacturing the phone from the ground up like Solana did, APTOS has partnered with a phone company to include their software for a line of smartphones. All of the phones will be integrated with the APTOS network through a collection of pre-installed apps, including the APTOS wallet Petra. Now, if you guys want to check out a really cool phone service, check out Afani SIM card swap safe. Check out the link in the description. But this will be a much more cost-effective way to produce a crypto-enabled phone. The new APTOS phone is manufactured by Jambo Technology, not to be confused with Jamba Juice. The Jamba Juice. And it will only cost $100 compared to the $500 price tag on the new Solana phone. Speculation, 10. APTOS had an insane rally after its launch, so people know that it can move fast when it has the opportunity. But it also has a really strong narrative. The connection to Facebook is actually helpful since the company isn't involved anymore, but still gave APTOS a massive head start. The unique tech and the fact that APTOS already has a phone is also impressive for both retail investors and institutions, so there's no doubt this project will be gaining a lot of attention this cycle. Once again, one of my top projects of the year. Chart 10. The rally that APTOS had in January 2023 created one of the craziest one-month charts that I've ever seen with an asset that has such a large market cap. Sometimes you see pumps like that in low caps and meme coins, but it rarely happens with a big project like this. Even though it took a hit in the bear market just like everything else did, it still held up surprisingly well. It has come back strong in the past few months. Tech, 9. APTOS has some of the most unique tech in the industry, and a big reason for this is the fact that it uses a brand new programming language called Move that was created in the development of Facebook's DM project. They also have something called a parallel execution engine, or P. I'm just kidding, I don't think they call it that. But it allows for tons of transactions to take place at the same time, making it able to handle up to 160,000 transactions per second, which is almost as many dad jokes as come to my brain during a video. It's also a unique consensus mechanism they have called APTOS BFT consensus, which is a new advancement for Byzantine fault tolerance consensus mechanisms. That's what BFT stands for in APTOS BFT. Overall, APTOS has some of the most unique tech in the industry, so I think that it will stand out and become a very serious contender in the crypto market. Now, another serious contender right now is our official exchange sponsor, Phemex. Click the Phemex link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen And make sure, don't forget to grab your Palau e-residency program card so you can KYC when your card comes in the mail. It's how all the cool kids are trading these days. Decentralization, 6. This is another point of weakness for APTOS. You saw earlier how centralized the tokenomics were, and there are other points of centralization too to be concerned about. There are only 127 validators on the network, which makes it one of the most centralized blockchains in terms of nodes and validators. Still 100 more than Tron though. This is one of those things about these corporate blockchains though. They've made the conscious decision to sacrifice decentralization so it's easier for them to make a good user experience. There are a lot of use cases where this makes sense. So it's not always a total disadvantage from an investment standpoint when something is centralized. This gives APTOS a final score of 86, placing it on the A tier. This puts it in the same tier as ADA and AVAX, just below Sol and XRP, and just above Matic and Link. So now, on to the moment you've all been waiting for, the price predictions. All of these predictions are working off an approximate circulating supply of 779 million tokens. These prices are based on previous bull markets and with the expectation of fairly normal market conditions. So let's take a look at 3 different ways this could go: the bearish case, the bullish case, and then what I actually think is going to happen. Now, in the most bearish case, I only see APTOS reaching $64 with a market cap of $23 billion. This is how I see things going if APTOS fails to keep up with the competition, namely SWE. Seems like they're doing a pretty good job doing that now, so I don't see things playing out like this, but there's always a chance. There's also a chance they can leap ahead of the competition thanks to their connections in the traditional finance world. Think about this. APTOS has a partnership with Microsoft to work on AI and blockchain. Microsoft owns a very big portion of OpenAI. Pretty much anything associated with OpenAI gets a ton of speculative attention. And it's not crazy to think there could be some partnership between APTOS and OpenAI sometime in the future, considering their mutual partner in Microsoft. If things end up playing out like this, I can see the price of APTOS reaching as high as $412 with a market cap of $151 billion. That's the most bullish case. But now I'll cover the most realistic scenario to let you guys down. This is what I actually think is going to happen. I don't think a big partnership like this is entirely out of the question. I'm talking about the Microsoft partnership, but it's still a bit of a long shot. If you look at who APTOS chose to produce their phones, it was a relatively unknown company. They don't even have the juice. They probably do a great job, but it doesn't create the same kind of FOMO when it hits the news. It's still very big news that their software comes stock in a phone. And I think that this will be just one of many accomplishments that seems small when they hit the news, but ended up becoming a very big deal when we look back at it in the future. So realistically, I see APTOS going to about $183 with a market cap of $67 billion. But I want to know what you think. How will things play out for APTOS during this cycle? Let me know down below in the comments, and don't forget to click the like button on the way out. It helps us. Lights on. Be blessed.